Hello everyone. Welcome again. Today we're going to talk about a book that's a personal favorite of mine, The Palace of Illusions by Chitra Banerjee Divakaruni. If you love mythology, strong female protagonists, or just enjoy a fresh take on a classic, you're in for a treat. Let's break it down. So, The Palace of Illusions is essentially a retelling of the Mahabharata. Now before you say, "Oh, another Mahabharata retelling," trust me, this one's different. It's all about Draupadi, one of the most misunderstood characters in Indian mythology. You know her, right? The fiery princess, born from the flames, married to 5 husbands. But this book, it gives her a voice, her story, her emotions. And spoiler alert, she's not just some tragic heroine. She's complex, she's strong, she's human. Let me take you to the beginning. Draupadi is born out of fire. Literally. She comes into this world with a sense of destiny and purpose, but also loneliness. Right from the start, she knows she's different, and she craves more than just a life of luxury or being a princess. She's smart, witty, and has this constant inner conflict. She wants to break out of the role society expects her to play. Now, as she grows up, Draupadi struggles with her identity. She knows she's special, but being special isn't enough. She's ambitious. And like most of us, she's got dreams. One of the key moments in her life is her Swayamvara, the competition where she chooses her husband. But here's where things take a wild turn. Through a series of unexpected events, Draupadi ends up marrying not just one man, but 5. Yep, you heard that right. 5 husbands, the 5 Pandavas to be exact. And while this sounds epic, it comes with a lot of baggage. Imagine being pulled in 5 different directions, trying to be everything for everyone. And on top of that, she develops a kind of emotional connection with someone else entirely. Enter Karna. Now, Karna is one of the most tragic, enigmatic characters in the Mahabharata, and in the Palace of Illusions, Draupadi is secretly drawn to him. And this adds such a delicious layer of tension. Because on one hand, she's bound by duty to the Pandavas, but on the other, there's this unspoken, unfulfilled connection with Karna. Throughout the book, you get this constant push-pull between duty and desire, love and honor. And it's so well done. Of course, we can't talk about Draupadi without mentioning the infamous dice game. This is where things really fall apart for her. In this game, her husband Yudhishthira, the eldest Pandava, gambles away everything. His kingdom, his brothers, and yep, even Draupadi herself. What's fascinating in the Palace of Illusions is how Draupadi reacts. She's not just a victim here. She's angry, she's humiliated, but she also stands up in front of a court full of powerful men and demands justice. This is where you really see her strength. Draupadi isn't just a queen. She's a warrior in her own right, though her battles are fought with words, with defiance, and with a sense of righteousness. She questions the very foundations of dharma and justice in that moment, and it's incredibly powerful. Now, moving forward, the book also explores Draupadi's relationship with her palace, the Palace of Illusions itself. It's not just a physical place. It's symbolic of her dreams, her ambitions, her illusions about power and love. And when the palace is destroyed during the war, it represents the crumbling of all those illusions. And speaking of the war, the Mahabharata's great Kurukshetra war, Draupadi has her own complex role here. Her quest for revenge after her humiliation drives much of the conflict. But once the war is over, and everything she fought for turns to ashes, she's left wondering if it was all worth it. The cost of revenge, the futility of war. These are big themes the book tackles, but all from Draupadi's deeply personal perspective. I think what really stands out in the Palace of Illusions is that it reclaims the narrative for Draupadi. She's no longer just the woman who caused a war, or the woman disrobed in the Kaurava court. She's a woman with dreams, with flaws, with desires. You get to see her full humanity, and that makes her story so much more relatable. And hey, let's not forget the writing. Chitra Banerjee Divakaruni's prose is absolutely beautiful. It's lyrical but also super accessible. You don't need to be a mythology buff to get into this book. You just need to enjoy a good story. Alright, so here's my personal take on it. What love most about The Palace of Illusions is how it speaks to the modern reader. Draupadi's struggles, her search for identity, her ambition, and even her loneliness, they feel timeless. Sure, she's a mythical queen, but aren't we all trying to break free from society's expectations? Aren't we all chasing some version of a palace of illusions in our lives? Whether it's our career, our relationships, or even our dreams. I think this book also highlights how stories, even ancient ones, can be reinterpreted to reflect the voices of those who were often sidelined. Draupadi was always at the heart of the Mahabharata, but here she gets to tell her side of the story. And I think there's something empowering about that. So, whether you're a fan of mythology, love powerful female leads, or just want to experience a different perspective on a classic, give The Palace of Illusions a read. It's beautifully written, thought-provoking, and most importantly, it'll make you see Draupadi in a whole new light. That's all for today. If you've read The Palace of Illusions, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. What did you think of Draupadi as a character? And if you haven't read it yet, does this sound like your kind of book? Let's chat. For me, The Palace of Illusions was a journey. It challenged the way I viewed Draupadi and really made me think about the women in mythology who don't often get a chance to tell their own story. I've always admired strong female characters, and Draupadi is definitely one of them. But she's not perfect, and that's what I love. She's real, she's flawed, and honestly it made me reflect on how we, too, build our own palaces of illusions in life. The things we chase, only to realize they might not bring us the fulfillment we thought they would. This book hits deep, guys. Highly recommend it. Alright, that's it for today's book chat. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell if you want more book summaries and discussions like this. See you next time.